Hi friends, WizD here, welcome to a new Raid Shadow Legends video. First, sorry that I haven't been releasing videos consistently in the past probably few weeks. I'm doing two things, or it's because of two things mainly. The first thing is that I've been swamped at work, so too busy at work, I don't have time, and I've tried before just to release videos that are half-baked, not properly edited, without the right energy, and that doesn't go well, you know that. So what I'm doing while being busy at work, I'm just working on ideas or enhancing the channel. I have a few ideas tagged up and then I want to record quite a few videos before I start releasing videos daily again. So that will help me boost the channel. That's one thing. The other thing, it will help me get into the content creators program, because not being consistent with the videos uh, doesn't get me above like the minimum threshold they want for views per week. So basically that's it. So I'll start recording videos. I haven't done so yet, and hopefully by next week, or next week we'll release videos anyways because of Thor and the fusion and everything. But what I'm trying to do here is to have enough pipeline of videos recorded and saved already, so that all of that good stuff will happen. Hopefully we'll start next week. So enough rambling, now we're here to talk about Thor. Finally, Raid has been keeping Thor's kit top secret. Nobody knew what it is till today. The content creators started talking about it and they released the full kit for Thor. This fusion, Thor is going to be a fusion. We'll talk about which type of fusion, and the fusion is going to start next week, September 5th. So, I'll give you my view because I've been rambling for a couple of minutes now. I'll give you my view early on in the video, but then I'll justify it and tell you why I think he's going to be that powerful. So definitely a good fusion, definitely go for him. And yeah, everything in Thor's kit, as you might expect it from like the mythical character, is building into damage and more damage and more damage in ways that I think we haven't seen his multipliers yet. Probably we won't see them till he's in the game. The content creators probably will do some testing with him next week, and when they show that, I'm going to create a follow-up video mainly for two things. Just to confirm that my opinion is still yes, you should go for this fusion, because this is my opinion right now. And the other thing is that when they release the epic, which epic is going to be like the epic for this fusion, we started talking about what kind of fusion it is. I'll also include in that follow-up video, if you cannot go for Thor, if you don't have enough resources, whether you should go for the epic or not. So these are the two things that will be coming next week before the fusion starts. For now, we'll just talk about his kit. His multipliers, I'm expecting them to be really good, and he's going to smack everywhere. This is going to be the first fusion that I'll be going for in my free-to-play. And by now, I'll probably put a timestamp when I start talking about the kit, in case you don't want to hear all of the ramblings that's been going on for the first 3 minutes or so. His A1 is attack one enemy 2 times with a 20% chance. That will require accuracy to decrease the target's turn meter by 10%. Of course, that won't work with a lot of bosses that don't allow turn meter decrease, but it's a 2-hit with 20% chance of a repeating attack. Can be really good for Fire Knight and everywhere in the game. And if the multipliers are good with this A1, he will just keep smacking with that A1 all the time, with counter attacks, ally attacks, and all sorts of things. So, and that will fit really nice within the rest of his kit. We'll talk about it now. But yeah, a very good A1 here. A2 attacks all enemies. After hitting the first enemy, will hit every other enemy in random order. Following initial hit, the damage inflicted increases by 25%, stacking up to 100% on the last enemy in a four enemy based teams like Arena, or in Hydra it will stack to 100% and stop there. Will ignore block damage and unkillable. So if the multipliers are good, and we are expecting them to be, this will smack really hard. And I think this is not coded as an AoE. We don't know for sure yet because we haven't seen him tested, but when they put it like this, the only reason to put his kit written like this in his A2 is that it's coded as multiple single target, which will increase his damage on Hydra and avoid some passive that decrease the damage on AoEs. So this is going to smack, ignoring block damage and unkillable. So in Arena that's going to be really good, and in a bunch of other areas as well. His A3 will attack all enemies, so that's an AoE, it's coded this way. But before attacking, we'll put increase attack and increase crit damage on him, which is really good. The two buffs that you want on an attack-based champion for 2 turns, okay. And then got 100% chance of decreasing the resistance. We're not sure if this will require accuracy or not, but you'll build them with accuracy anyways for the passive and the A1. But yeah, we'll check when they test him next week whether he needs accuracy or not. For now, I'd say he needs it. Oh, he needs it for the decreased speed, which is really valuable. Don't sleep on this. So he also got 100% chance of placing AoE decreased speed. Not common in the game and definitely not common for a damage dealer. A year ago or more, we were frowning upon them needing, putting skills that need accuracy on damage dealers. But Wukong proved, and since then they released a couple of other champions too, that having accuracy with the damage dealing, of course you have to prioritize one of these two aspects. So you're building mainly with damage with a little bit of accuracy as a secondary stat, and he will place decrease attack, decrease the turn meter, and do all of that good stuff. And that's so far. We'll talk more about it when we get into it, when we see him and when we test him and all of that stuff. But for now, that's my build recommendation for Thor that early on before he got released into the game. You'll build him mainly for damage, stack him with damage, attack 100% crit rate, crit damage, fast enough so he keeps taking turns, and then as a secondary stat, build him with 200 accuracy or 300 accuracy depending on your level of account. That will really fit with his kit as it is today. Then we have the passives that I'm hiding a little bit of, but basically they're talking about thunder counter, so every time he deals damage, so in an AoE or his A2, which is like sort of an AoE but coded in a single target fashion, depending on whether he has 4 or 5 enemies, each damage dealt will count as a thunder counter 1. When he reaches 10 out of turn, he will do an AoE attack with 100% stun, and then the counter will start counting again. So that means that he'll be really good in, Nubraids I think pointed this out, he'll be really good in arena farming with multiple AoEs plus the passive, and in all sorts of content. We're talking about all wave-based content, but also if his multipliers are good, he will do proper damage for bosses as well. He also has an excellent aura, increase ally attack in all battles by 30%. So as we can expect, first of all, kudos to Plarium on the design of the champion. Hell Hades was mentioning that he should go to the gym, and I would say no, he's perfect as is. That's how we imagine the Vikings in the old days. These guys didn't care about fitness, just built muscle and fat to be those massive walls crashing into everything. So yeah, so kudos to Plarium on the champion design, on even the skills names here. Sky Rapture, Hammer of Heaven, Flominus, Ricochet, so really great design for this champion. And he's built as we imagine Thor. Thor is built to do damage and more damage, attack-based champions that will crash through everything, destroying bosses and waves. That's what I'm hoping he will do. We'll confirm once the multipliers and the testing is out next week. And sorry if I've been a little bit pessimistic or underwhelmed by the whole event. I think that Odin and Freya might be a little bit better than I gave them credit for in my first review of the Asgard event, because I'm looking from the perspective of an in-game player who's been playing for over 4 years and with a stacked account that beat the whole game already, except for Marius. I'm still waiting to get my Marius. But for you, if you've been playing for a year or two, these are all good champs that you can invest into. When we come to the Freya Guaranteed event, probably I'll go for it. I might create a separate video talking about which level of account should go for Freya Guaranteed event when they release it. It's not released into the game yet, so we'll talk about this separately. But Thor, I'm really hyped for him, for the Asgard event, for being that sort of attack damage dealer with decreased speed and stuns and everything. He will be great for all levels of accounts. So if you can go for a fusion, I recommend going for this one. If I change my mind, follow the channel, because like I said, next week I'm going to follow up with another video once we see the testing for him, just to let you know if anything changes my mind. But for now, he's a good fusion. Thumbs up Plarium. It's going to be a difficult fusion though, because it's going to be a hybrid fusion We'll collect fragments for epics and then fuse the epics into him. It's going to be a hard fusion, but I believe it's going to be worth it. So my recommendation for now, yes, definitely go for Thor and enjoy playing him everywhere into the game. Regardless of your level of account, again, I think he will fit into all levels of accounts. And let's hope that we'll get a few videos recorded and released so the channel will become more active again. Thank you for tuning in today. I'll see you next time. Bye.